President Trump made history and television drama, meeting North Korean leader Kim Jong Un at the most dangerous border in the world. North Korean cameras capturing Kim greeting the president.
Good to see you again. I've never expected to meet you at this place.
Then, President Trump becoming the first sitting American president to set foot on North Korean soil. Another handshake. Then the two crossed together into South Korea, and a suggestion of a fourth meeting to come.
Oh, sorry.
I would invite him right now. Let's go. The White House. Absolutely.
At one point, security keeping American press away.
He's good. He's fine.
The new White House press secretary, Stephanie Grisham, trying to help U.S. cameras get inside. But tonight, this is how it's all being shown to the North Korean people.
조미 최고 수뇌분들께서는
North Korea's propaganda station gushing over it, saying the unexpected summit transcended expectations and shocked the world.
A lot of friendships have been made, and this has been in particular a great friendship, so I just want to thank you.
But was anything more than friendship achieved? The New York Times reports the White House may accept a nuclear freeze, allowing North Korea to keep its nuclear weapons as long as it doesn't build any new ones. That would be a step backwards in the U.S. position. But National Security Adviser John Bolton disputes the report, tweeting he's not discussed or heard of any desire to settle for a nuclear freeze. President Trump said negotiators will meet in the next few weeks to restart talks on North Korea's nuclear program, which had been stalled.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.